I've put off making this kind of video for pretty much the history of my channel. I didn't want to make a video like this. I shouldn't have to make a video like this. And a large reason that I've never made a video like this is because I've never quite known how to put my feelings into the correct words, or words that do them justice. And honestly, I still haven't, but I wrote you a letter, and I think you all need to hear it. Most of you, I think, will agree with everything I have to say. Some of you will probably not agree with most of it, but you need to hear it too. So, I'll read you the letter. I know I've promised you all that this channel will remain apolitical, and I do intend on keeping that promise for the most part. But I've never once in my life been the type to sit on the fence or not speak my mind, but I did for the sole purpose of my belief that things involving the supernatural, the woo-woo, aliens, and conspiracy theories, and everything that this channel is about, shouldn't be clouded by political ideologies. And I still believe that. But my parents always taught me, don't ever start any fights, but if somebody starts one with you, you better finish it. They also taught me to always stand up to bullies, even if they're bothering someone else, because eventually they will target you. And I've done my best, and I think I've done a pretty decent job at staying off of political topics, even when I had a lot to say, and probably could have gotten a lot of clicks and in turn a lot of money by doing some political content. But I'm angry. Now, angry doesn't come close to doing it justice. I'm filled with a seething rage that I literally do not have the words for. But it's a familiar rage that I've been living with for the better part of a decade. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel the tiniest sense of vindication from others starting to feel it too. But truly, none of that matters. It doesn't matter now because we are here, in the place that we are. But I am done not speaking my mind at the risk of upsetting someone who is either a paid shill or a bot or too dumb to even understand what is happening right in front of their faces. I've withheld from doing regular conspiracy videos because of A, the audience it brings in, which tends to be a lot of QAnon type of dorks, and B, it's hard to do new conspiracy theory videos without getting political, and then hearing everyone in the comments complain about me getting political. But let me say this part as clearly as I can. This country is being ran by a pedophilic and sycophantic class of monsters. The president is a pedophile. He most likely ran an international crime organization and facilitated many of the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. The only reason, in my belief, that he ever needed to be president was to try and get out of the hot water he had found himself in. That's why in March, 1,000 FBI personnel were put on 24-hour shifts to comb through 100,000 documents related to Epstein. Those agents were instructed to identify and set aside any materials that reference Trump. There's a link in the description of this video. You can check it out yourself. It's why they released all of the documents they have so far, but have redacted 99% of the content. It's probably why Charlie Kirk died. It's why he kidnapped a dictator in Venezuela, but doesn't do anything about the dictator who gave him a golden pager as an inauguration present. It's why he listened to some idiot YouTuber who can't string a sentence with too many syllables together to send in a bunch of trigger-happy douchebags into the streets of Minneapolis. His next step, which I promise you is coming, is to invoke the Insurrection Act and send military troops into American cities. The groundwork's already being laid. They're just waiting for an ICE officer to get killed by a citizen. The Sasha Riley interviews. I listened to them all. They're only a few hours, but they're free, and every single person should go listen to them. Then go look for yourself at Sasha's public profiles. Facebook, Twitter, he's on everything. He's been talking about this for years. So far, he hasn't been sued. We'll see what happens there. Go decide for yourself. But last year, I watched the National Guard, citizens of my own state, be used as political pawns and sent into my streets. Now, we're seeing these mouth-breathing, slack-jawed, jackboot, thug, wannabe badasses armed with 2 months of training, a military kit, a face mask, and a gun, snatching citizens out of the streets into unmarked vehicles, out of their workplaces. That happened in Los Angeles. Then moving on to invade more and more cities by the week, it seems, threatening to go to Chicago, threatening to go to Philly, supposedly coming back to LA next. They say they have absolute immunity and are now allowed to enter homes without a warrant. Without a warrant. That is about the most un-American motherfucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Then we all saw Renee Good get shot in the face. Then we hear about another man, here in Los Angeles, in Northridge, was killed by an off-duty ICE agent on New Year's Eve. Keith Porter. There's also been a so far unnamed victim that was killed by ICE in Ontario, California. Now they executed Alex Peretti. Because that's what they did. Make no mistake about it, they executed that man in broad daylight. A VA nurse who was trying to help a woman being assaulted by these cowards. They're currently building an AI-backed facial recognition database using Palantir technology of all the citizens that they consider political opponents. How easy do you think you can be labeled a political opponent? And I keep looking around, asking, who the fuck is going to do something about this? I don't know what the answer is. The supposed opposition party has been sending emails asking for donations, for God's sakes. They all seem to be bending over and taking it and saying, "Thank you, Daddy Trump, may I have another?" Every single sitting Democrat should be ashamed of themselves right now. The only person that seemingly shows a spine that's in any political office right now is Thomas Massie. And if I say what I truly think needs to happen, I will absolutely get my channel banned. Can't say it on social media, because, to be fair, nobody should be calling for that. But it is what needs to happen, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. It would only take 1,000 people. Hey, why have I been saying for years, the only chance this country has is a revolution? I'm not saying start one, I'm not saying go do anything, but I do think you're all starting to see it too. Let me get back to the letter, I'm getting off topic. And make no mistake, it's not just Trump, because when Trump dies, Peter Thiel's butt boy J.D. Vance is right behind him to take his place, okay? Not to mention the billions of dollars in Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, and Peter Thiel that are even further up the ladder, lining the pockets of politicians all over this country right now. And look, if you don't remember much and you haven't done any history research since your last history class, I encourage you to go find a video right here on YouTube about the rise of Hitler and the Third Reich. Tell me how much of that sounds familiar. They've implemented over 50% of Project 2025, by the way. You can go check. That link is in the description below as well. project2025.observer/en probably. If you're regretting your vote for this man, I know a lot of people are. It's not too late. Nobody's asking you to get online and give some 10-minute apology video about what. We don't need any of that. I personally don't care. I don't want anybody's apologies. All I want is for you to fight this fascistic regime along with us. It's not too late. You don't have to admit to anything. You can still fight back, even if you don't do that, and I promise you that you'll be remembered for being on the right side of history when this is all done. Now, I've said a lot in this, and it was a lot more than I sat down to write, to tell you guys, or to say to you guys. I still will not be focusing on politics here. This channel will remain largely the same. But don't be shocked if I do a conspiracy theory video and talk about how fascist these people are. Because honestly, if you don't consider yourself an anti-fascist, that's un-American to me. And I don't really want you watching my stuff anyway. So, I know I said a lot. Feel free to fact check me on anything I've said up to this point. Because bring me some solid sources, because I promise you I've got mine. So, regular videos coming your way soon. I have a really good conspiracy theory video about energy and gravity, and I think it's going to be really good. You guys are going to like that one. And a couple reaction videos. I'm also going to be out of town, so I'm going to try to have those recorded and get those edited and stuff this week so that they're uploaded and ready for you guys. Blah, blah, blah. TikTok sucks now, so I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I might have to start finding content elsewhere, but Larry Ellison bought it, and now the whole algorithm sucks. Can't find anything good on there anymore, so I don't know. Maybe they'll fix it, but probably not because, you know. Fuck it. While we're at it, fuck Charlie Kirk and his demonic witch of a wife. Probably Israeli handler, and probably still has that tissue in her hand right now. I have no proof of this one, but Jay-Z and Beyonce are just as guilty as Diddy, if not as bad as Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and their canceling will come in the coming years. Just a prediction. I have no proof, not an allegation. For entertainment purposes only. Fuck Garth Brooks, and Israel's committing a genocide with the pedo president Donald Trump and American tax dollars helping them do it.